Hey guys, I just wanted to share this with Gulf Coast High School, St. John Newman, really everyone in Naples, Florida. I'm asking you guys to read my Twitter page, and I'm asking my coach or my former coach, he's still a coach to me, but I was well aware of everything before I went to all these schools. I probably was the first one to make a decision like this that changed my life forever, and I understood the loophole. There's a loophole in life, and I used it. And that's why Coach Famanaya, or my former coach, he should have explained that it's all publicity is good publicity. So there are certain ways to blow yourself up or position yourself in life, not to where you're alpha, but to where you start to, it's just one of those things where it's like you can make a really good decision, and that decision was one of the smartest decisions, and that makes you look smart to other people. So a lot of decision making is, I want to make the smartest decision. It's not just about what people are saying. I want to make the smartest decision I possibly can make. So the reason why I don't like football is because most people don't know what it is, but they act like it, or they're just wearing the t-shirt or the jersey, and they don't really know who's the quarterback for the Cardinals right now. And they just want to argue 24/7 about information or where people went to college, or they're quote saying everyone looks the same. I said, well, I have a helmet on, but I'm unique, and I'm so unique to where I feel like if I go to the NCAA, I feel like I can't, it's just gonna drive me crazy if they're so wrong about my family having money, about me being able to make money, and the women portion of it, how that's not the formula to be successful at this particular university that wins, in this particular school that they're all geeks. I'm not saying they're all virgins, but you'll go to some schools and you'll be, it's a top ranked school and they are virgins. You know what I mean? There's a practicality to it. Like they are focused, So I went to one of those universities and I knew exactly what I wanted to do, which was build a business in college. I didn't need college to do it right away. I wanted to go and do business at 18. And I would like Coach to explain why this is hurting me and my self-esteem with the marital union part. And it devastated me, and I no longer I don't want to be blamed anymore. This is the only time I'm asking you guys, if my dad does the same, you make it so confusing to where people are dismissive of the right information. You have a school like Richmond, and then you have schools like Harvard, but I'll say Richmond. And most people are going to discredit and say this is, they'll say it's a division. You say this isn't a Division I school. This wasn't a national title game, or I didn't see this on TV, and that's my issue. Coach Famanaya should explain why it's TV and how TV works. This has been driving me crazy. This is the concept of you have Notre Dame. Oh, Notre Dame popped out of nowhere, right? You don't think of Notre Dame, but you know Notre Dame exists. North Dakota State is also like that. You don't see it all the time, but you know it exists. This is one of those schools where you don't see it all the time, but you know it exists. And I think that's the reality that I think a lot of people don't care enough about to do their research. An example of this is a stadium. If the school is right outside a big stadium, you don't have to be on national. It's already, you just play for the team. So if I'm in Ohio, let's just be practical. If I'm in Ohio, and I'm playing for a really good school, I already have the attention of the NFL scouts right next door. Let's say the Cleveland Browns. You know what I mean? So it's like if someone said, the Cleveland Browns don't know who I am. It's like, well, explain to me how it's 20 minutes away from Wittenberg's campus. Cleveland's 20 minutes away. It's literally going down to Gulf Coast High School from downtown Naples. It's that close. I'm just showing you it. So if I wanted to go up there and go to a Cleveland game, I could go there with my entire football team on vacation. You know what I mean? So I think that's the part that I gave up. If I'm a liar, I'm not. I gave up. It's the only time I'll say I gave up. I gave up because it is too confusing for my city and too confusing for the transition. They wanted me to go to this school. It was the right decision, but it is too confusing for me. And I have to start punishing people. So I had to do a weird, LeBron, just walk away from it. If I'm in Cleveland and I'm doing everything right and I'm right and everyone else doesn't get it, doesn't get what you're supposed to do or what it is, and they think it's a joke, or they think you're tipping over a table, or which is disrespectful to the game of basketball or football. I don't care what you think. You know what I mean? I'm an employee of the NCAA, so it's like, you know, you're asking to be a part of it forever. They don't really tell you that, but they really push me to just do this forever. Do this with us forever. Go through the same thing we go through. Have the same problems as us. Get death threats like we do. You know, start seeing the bad side of the opposite sex. Start seeing the media. Start getting involved in TV. You're part of the same community Hollywood and Megan Fox are part of. Start, and I'm like, okay, so now I'm in it. This is just confusing the hell out of people, and it's not. It's really not. I think the main issue is people, I think they think it's like you're tipping over the table or something, and that's not what I'm doing. So because it's become that, I just walked away, and like LeBron went to South Beach, I just came back home, and so you guys figured out, like, it's just a game. And I'll even say it to coaches, it's just a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't have to do it, but I did it, and I'm good at it. But it's just a game. You know, so again, one more time, you have Notre Dame. If you're going to say Notre Dame's a bad school, that's not why Notre Dame exists. I would love Notre Dame to come out and have their own TV. They should have every program should have their own television station just to clear up the nonsense. You know what I mean? All you have to do is just click in the North Dakota State football or TV. Boom. Every game's on television. You can pay for the premium. Boom. Wittenberg TV. It's all equal, especially when you want to go international. You know, they're not going to do that because I don't think they own the thing or whatever, but it's that simple. They'll show you everything. They'll show you every season for that matter. You know what I mean? That's how it really should be. It's just I don't think we're at that level yet, but it may be one day. But it's not confusing. A lot of people are not. The division is not what's confusing them. It's the conference that's confusing them. You know, that's what's really starting to confuse me. So when people are like, "Oh, this and that," they don't even know what NCAC is, or they don't even know what Pac-12 is. They don't know what Big 12 is. They don't know what Big 10 is. They have no clue what that means. And I'm done. And if you explain that to the average, and this is what I said, football is, that's why a lot of people don't play football. It's really hard. It's like, think of football like you were supposed to go to Columbia, but you're being packaged based on appearance and based off of how good you are. Like, everyone's supposed to be at like Columbia and Ivy League. This is just TV. It's just appearance. It's just making you happy. We're going to push him over to the other coast because he gives people hope. We're going to push him over back to his hometown because he's good. We're going to push him down to where there's a billionaire outside on vacation. We're going to make him look like LeBron by pushing him over and having him look like this person. They don't explain that. You know what I mean? So there was like the number one reason why I went to Wittenberg is it's Ohio. LeBron James is going to know about you, and Oprah Winfrey is going to know about you, and you're a real person. But I wanted to really clarify football. I was using football for the TV verification of everything I did prior to being a football player. It reinforces that you're a real person and you're true. You know, so then you go to college and you have an option, and I was like, I only want to go to an academic school. Not like only an academic school, besides, so I'm saying it was important for me to basically ditch the football dream to going to the most complete school that I thought I could go to for the best deal. And I willingly went out of my way and found one called Wittenberg University, and it was everything that you could ask for. This is a university. It is not like FSW. I'm just asking you to trust me. You could do the whole, I want to see the difference and how much money they're making and who went semi-pro. But for the most part, it's like this is a TV kind of school, so it's a different class, and it's verified. So once you go to this school, you get verified you're a real person. And then it spreads from that point in time that you're a verified real person. And your friends can be Ivy League, your friends can be in the same division. But I would think of it like this. The Ivy League, they play other Ivy League schools. When you're like at Wittenberg University, you're just playing against people, I guess, that you're just playing against prestigious schools or schools that make a lot, or people that make a lot of money. So it's like there's different packages. Like, oh, these are the biggest stars in high school, SEC, NFL fan club. Then you got like the next tier, Ivy League, where these are people that they're just really smart, playing against each other. Then you got like people like just like I was saying, the comp, where it's like really rich people. You know what I mean? And it doesn't really make a difference. They just want it to, you know what I mean? But the way they're packaging is like, it's a league. So every league, Division 1, 2, and 3 are different. So Division 3, you could say, there really isn't a difference because their families are rich. You know, they don't have to go Division One. They could if they wanted to, but they don't need to. Then you have Division Two, where it's like if you're not that smart and you're athletic, you can get into that class. And then if you really don't have money at all, they can bring you up into the same class as everyone in the divisions. If your parents weren't smart, they don't have connections, and they can make you into a rich person on paper by allowing you to go into good school. Now, I don't understand why that part of it is so confusing to this city. This is one of the richest cities on the face of the planet. They're going to say, oh, Stanley Steamer. I just want you to say the football part is what's driving me crazy. You guys really don't know anything about football. Allow yourself to be corrected in 2023. Money is different. Back in 2015, I wasn't going to make jack anything. That's why my system in getting into the NFL or even going to college was different. You're like, you have a 3.8, you're going to 3.8 for 5 semesters. You're not going to freaking XCC. You're going to a better school. You're going to like a Dartmouth or like a Richmond or like a John Hopkins University. And you don't even need to worry about being a football player because those are the schools you make money. But they don't explain that. So I cashed in all my chips, meaning I cashed in my athleticism and I cashed in my entire resume in exchange for a job. That job was to be a Wittenberg Tiger, but the verification that I could make X amount of money on my own or alongside the network. So I would only think of it like if you're in the NCAA, you're only going to be working for the NCAA at this level, or you're going to be working for the pro league, or you're going to be working for semi-pro or club or switch professions. There isn't another alternative to it because you can't go backwards. It's like saying once you enter the military, they don't want to give you a job. You don't go and fight people in a store. You go back to where you came from. So the reality of why I'm so confused is people are not accepting the reality of you're in the community. So the job could just be like you're just a coach. The job, and you make a lot of money. That's the one thing I'm getting frustrated too. It's like they're not broke. This is a different time. Like I'm not gonna like snitch on people and say how much money they're making, but eventually those numbers are gonna be like $2.5 million in every division. You know what I mean? I'm just in general, like if they're really freaking good, like and you're at a really good program and you're a known person, like they'll pay you what you're worth. Like what's his name? Michigan. People wanted reassurance they could get into professional, into the pros. That was a smart move, but they had to pay him a lot of money. So they're building programs and eventually they'll move people around, just like some, Jackson State, Deion Sanders, and they're going to be paying them a lot of money. They don't have to be great schools, but they already handshook with a great athlete or player, and that allows them, it's one of those things where I'm tired of it. This isn't confusing to me, but for some odd reason, it's like they're independent or they could play a division. What's like saying we could play North Dakota State or we could play Florida. Oh, you can't play against Florida? You know, that's really funny. That's really funny that they say that. Okay, I can't play against Florida and win. They could do that. That's not my league, but they could set it up to where we play Florida if you're independent. I'm just saying if I could transfer and do that. So it's say, oh, if I came back and said I beat Florida, you're Division III, it's like that's my problem. You don't want to go off the verification. You don't want to go off the fact that you could play Florida, but you couldn't play some lower D1. It was on the other side of the country. Like it's just one of those things where it's like people don't understand football. I understand football, and just pissing me off because there's a TV technicality, there's a playbook technicality, there's getting that coach that validates the authenticity of whoever's coming out of the program. You know what I mean? Like, and it's one of those things where I think, I'm just going to correct people. At Wittenberg University, if you're a great athlete on paper, you're going semi-pro or you're allowed to continue. They're going to grant you the TV verification. It's going to spread that you're right about who you say you are. You can't discredit that resume. If you discredit the resume, bad things start to happen because you're lying or you become, you lose credibility, as they'll say. So, one more time. I wanted a package to where I didn't need to go to the NFL to make the amount of money I made, and they gave it to me. And thank the good Lord, it still stands today that I am who I say I am, and I did exactly what I promised I said I would do, which was stay out of trouble, come back home to city, focus the entire freaking time, and then look to transfer, look to be in a safe environment to be able to continue to help the next generation of athletes that are having the same problem as me. No, you don't have to overcomplicate it with NFL. That's why I'm getting angry. Like, I wanted the loophole. Like, it's almost like I wanted to get money today. You know what I mean? So, again, People don't understand it. Why couldn't he play at Alabama? Because of the TV verification. You have